So if it wasn't obvious enough, Sonic 2 was a really good game. The speed, the acceleration, it was all done very well. Because of that, Sonic 2 sales were high enough to allow a third entry, and unlike Sonic 2, Sonic 3 development was approved right away, which gave Sonic Team and the rest of STI time to make the game. During the development of Sonic 3, the team initially wanted the game to be 3D, but due to limited time, they decided to go back to 2D. While making the game, the team planned to also make the game much larger than the second, by adding more stages and bigger story. However, due to the game becoming a larger project, and a limited amount of time they had due to the deal they had with McDonald's, believe it or not, the team decided to cut the game in half, that being Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. This would be the explanation for why Sonic 3 is a lot shorter than Sonic 1 and 2, but to make up for it, they gave consumers the ability to combine Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles to become the Sonic 3&Knuckles, the true experience. In my case, I was originally going to review both games the way they were, but during my footage gathering, I discovered that I was able to unlock Sonic 3 and Knuckles on the Mega Collection, so now, I could play the games as it was originally intended. To make it clear, Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles are the same game but split in half, so you'll be playing one game on one title and then playing the rest in the next title. The only difference is that you can't access certain content. So with that out of the way, let's finally end this classic trilogy with Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Sonic 3 takes place immediately after Sonic 2. When the Death Egg was destroyed, it crashed down to Angel Island, which holds the powerful Master Emerald. Eggman tricks the Guardian, known as Knuckles the Echidna, that Sonic and Tails are looking to steal the Emerald for themselves, when in reality it's Eggman who wants the power to repair his Death Egg. Meanwhile, Sonic and Tails find strange readings on Angel Island. With no time to waste, they immediately head to the mysterious island, where they are suddenly ambushed by Knuckles, who steals the Chaos Emeralds by literally punching the Super Sonic out of Sonic. As you play through the game, Knuckles will mostly try to stop you in your tracks, but as you progress through the story, Knuckles soon realizes who the true villain is and helps the duo defeat Dr. Eggman once and for all, returning the Master Emerald and bringing peace to Angel Island once again. If you play Knuckles, the story is a bit different. It takes place after Sonic 3. One of Dr. Eggman's robots takes the personality of the Doctor himself and causes trouble for the Echidna, which is no different from the original. And that's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. As the first game to have a more fleshed out story, I have to admit that it was a bit more interesting to see the results of what's to come the further I progressed. Graphically, the game looks really good for its third installment. It's actually the best looking one in my opinion. Sonic 1 and 2 look good as well, make no mistake, but 3 definitely used the full power of the Genesis that still holds up now. And let's not forget the soundtrack. It's one of the most popular topics to talk about. The soundtrack is definitely one of the best things about Sonic 3 and Knuckles. The music has a more upbeat sound to it that really gets you hooked up on it. My favorites include the save theme, the boss theme, and the special theme. It's said that Michael Jackson composed the music, but there's a lot of stories behind that which makes the claim unclear to this day. Some say he didn't do the tracks due to his allegations, or others say that he didn't do it because he wasn't satisfied with the sound quality. Whether he did it or not doesn't matter to me, but I will say once again that this soundtrack is the best one I've heard out of the 3 games so far. Now let's get into the gameplay, the true meat of this title. Sonic controls the same way as he does in Sonic 2. He can run, jump, and spin dash, but he and the others have new abilities in this game. For one, Sonic now uses the Insta-Shield technique that he can use for a split second when he jumps. It's one of the moves that I have yet to master. In terms of upgrades, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles have access to 3 new special boxes. There's the Thunder Shield that lets you double jump while also grabbing rings, the Fire Shield that lets you dash, and the Bubble Shield that lets you bounce higher while also allowing you to breathe underwater. So yeah, the shield upgrades are a great addition to the character's movesets. Now let's talk about Tails and the newcomer. Tails is the easy mode in the game, and that's mostly due to his ability to fly for a few seconds. You can pass and avoid a lot of obstacles thanks to his flight abilities, which could be a huge help on a lot of occasions, but in his case, certain bosses can give you a tough time, specifically in Marble Zone, where the final boss in that stage requires you to use your flight abilities. Knuckles, on the other hand, is the hard mode of the game. Well, I wouldn't say hard, more like a slightly new challenge, due to his stages having new locations that require you to be more careful with your surroundings, while also having boss fights with new techniques. Besides that, he can glide, climb on walls, and to my surprise, he can unlock his super form after getting the Chaos Emeralds. For years, I have only known about Knuckles having a hyper form. Anything about his super form was completely out of my knowledge. Speaking of the Chaos Emeralds, the newest addition to the classic Sonic universe is the Super Emeralds. After collecting all 7 Chaos Emeralds, you'll be able to collect the Super Emeralds that will unlock new transformations for Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. To collect all 14, you need to find the giant rings located in every stage. Within the giant rings are the special stages that require you to gather blue orbs. For Sonic, you gain the Hyper Form. In this state, you're much faster than Super Sonic. You can activate a nuke dash that destroys everything in your way, and you can breathe underwater, which doesn't logically make any sense considering the fact that he needs air to breathe, so I'm not complaining. For Tails, we have a super form that couldn't be unlocked with the original Chaos Emeralds. It's never been clear why he couldn't do it, but my gosh, Tails is insane. It's one thing for him to be faster and invincible, but now he also has these flickies that will destroy anything that moves.
Wait a minute, did you say anything?
Anything!
Anything?
Yes, anything!
Anything?
Anything!
Anything?
I'll get you, and I'll look like a bloody accident.
Knuckles in his hyper form can cause a small earthquake when gliding into a wall. Besides that, he's not too different from his super form, which is already good enough. With that said, I can definitely confirm that this is truly the best Sonic 3 experience. By having all 3 characters playable in one game and having more stages and new abilities, it's easy to say that this is the best classic Sonic game we could ever ask for out of the main 3. Some may disagree and say that Sonic 2 is the better game, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like Sonic 3 truly has done a lot more than Sonic 2 could. If you're ever interested in playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I seriously recommend trying to get your hands on the Mega Collection. I know that the Origins Collection is out, which also includes 3&Knuckles, but I haven't gotten my hands on that yet, and I don't plan on getting it anytime soon. But hey, go ahead and get it if it interests you. With that said, everyone have a great day, and I'll see you next time.